how's it going? So, it is October, the month of falling leaves and warm sweaters and crisp mornings. But for many artists, it means Inktober. And if you've never heard of Inktober before, it is a 30-day challenge started by a guy named Jake Parker, and what you do is draw one picture every day of the month of October, preferably in ink. You can use any medium you want, but it started out in ink. And there's actually a little prompt list, words that give you ideas for the pictures. If you can't think of anything, you can use it, or you don't have to use it. I tried it last year, and yeah, I didn't get very far. So this year, I'm really trying. I've prepared. I've got kind of a list of ideas that I want to work on some of the days. So anyway, these are mostly the two things I'm going to be using, at least in this video. These are what I'm going to be using. Micron Pigma brush pen, which has a little brush on it. And this is what I use to get like larger areas usually. It kind of frayed on the end, so it's not good for little things anymore. And I'm also using the Pigma Micron PN, which I just got and I love it. It does really tiny lines, and it does some thicker lines too, and I really like the way this pen works. I think I'm mostly going to use it in place of my smaller pens. So today's word is roasted, and my mind, at least at first, went straight to food, but I'm like, no, I just don't want to draw like roasted food. So got a little creative with my word use there, and so let's start this speed paint and you can see what I did.
So there is a bit of a story behind this picture. There's this planet that has this really special commodity not found anywhere else, but the locals are kind of reclusive and don't like dealing with outsiders. But they do want to sell their products, so they've decided to let one ship through their crazy defenses to trade with them. And to decide what starship captain gets that privilege, they have organized a race. So there are tons of ship's captains there, all mingling before the race. All different alien species. But there is this one guy who seems to know everybody's buttons. He kind of goes around the room insulting people and seems to enjoy irritating people. So Rover is a pretty chill guy. He's a trader, so a big part of his job is getting people to like him, so he can sell them things. So he doesn't usually let insults bother him. But he does have one pretty big sore spot, and that is Earth and humans in general, pretty much. See, he doesn't remember having ever seen a human himself. So the truth is, he's just a little afraid that he's the only one. And as such, he kind of feels like he has to carry the torch for his entire planet. He has to defend them. So when this guy accuses humans, all humans, of being cowards or so weak that they have become extinct, it really does not go well. Fortunately, before Rover decides to take a swing at this guy, his first mate steps in and, reminds him that he needs to behave himself, no matter what this guy is saying to him. Interestingly enough, though, Mr. Frog Gorilla guy here, who I have yet to give a name, does play a pretty big part later in the story, but I'm not gonna tell you about that because, spoilers. So I really have been enjoying Inktober so far. I know it's only the third day, and I know people tend to get pretty burnt out after a while, but I really like inking, and some of the artists that I really like use a lot of ink in their drawing. I like Al Cap, who did the Little Abner comics that started around in the 40s. And I also really like Bill Watterson, who did Calvin and Hobbes. Both of them have an amazing grasp of black and white and contrast and line weight. Line weight is something that I really want to practice. And also just the use of black space. So that is one of the things that I'm going to be working on this Inktober, and I really hope that I have a better grasp of that by the time the challenge is over. And as you can see, I was really trying to incorporate that into this picture.